ओके, चलो तो आज तुम स्टार्ट करोगे अपने पूरे इंट्रोडक्शन से।
ओके सर। सो हेलो सर, मेरा नाम आयुष है। और मेरी फैमिली अयोध्या में रहती है। और हम लोग मैं चाइल्डहुड से लखनऊ में हम लोग मूव किए। वहाँ पे मैंने अपनी एजुकेशन की सीएमएस स्कूल में। और अपना 10th 12th मैंने वहीं से किया, साइंस में। 12th में मेरा जो सब्जेक्ट था वो बायोलॉजी और कंप्यूटर्स था, क्योंकि कंप्यूटर्स में मुझे काफ़ी इंटरेस्ट था, प्रोग्रामिंग में इंटरेस्ट था। उसके बाद आई वेंट टू जेएनयू फॉर माई अंडरग्रेड। वहाँ पे आई लर्नड जर्मन लैंग्वेज एंड आई डिड माई बीए ऑनर्स इन जर्मन। alongside computer was also one of my electives. उसके बाद भी मैंने कुछ कुछ वर्कशॉप्स की थी। एक वर्कशॉप मैंने संभावना इंस्टीट्यूट में की थी। इट वाज कॉल्ड नई दिशा। इट वाज अ विंटर वर्कशॉप वेयर वी लर्नड अबाउट डेवलपमेंट एंड हाउ वी नीड टू rethink development, keeping the perspectives of nature as well as rural economics in mind. Not just economics, but socio-political scenarios of rural India as well in mind. तो ये मेरी
Tell
एजुकेशन।
okay, so now tell me about. I was not asking about education. I was asking about complete introduction. तो जरूरी नहीं था कि एजुकेशन पे लाइन करना, ठीक है।
ओके।
एनीवे, बट एनीवे यू इंट्रोड्यूस योरसेल्फ वेल। यही है इंट्रोडक्शन। अभी स्टूडेंट के लिए क्या होता है, पढ़ाई ही इंट्रोडक्शन है ना। तो नेक्स्ट ये है हमारा कि द ग्रेजुएशन दैट यू डिड इन फ्रॉम जेएनयू, what was that like? Did you study language there, or was it more than language, just language?
Uh, so when in the first year of our graduation, we did study solely language, but from second year itself, we started to learn about literature and the socio-economical states of conditions of Germany after Second World War. And it also got me very interested because there was also a course on the comparisons between uh, the economical and social conditions of Germany at that time with context to India. So, because Germany was a developing nation at that time, so we have a lot of things in common as well as a lot of things to learn from there. Specifically, I remember कि uh, there was this divide between the east and the west parts of Germany. So, and it got me really interesting.
So
Interested.
I did not understand that what kind of similarity was, yeah, is
Mm.
there from that at that time of Germany where it was
Uh-huh.
divided and it was started growing, it was still in developing phase, and right now what India has as per
Mhm.
its economic prospect and everything. What was the similarity?
So after World War II, Germany was totally deteriorated and वहाँ पे कोई resources available नहीं थी, बहुत limited ही चीज़ें available थी. So the East Germany was run by Soviets and they had the idea of providing welfare schemes, schools, job security, and also daycare centers for women where they could leave their children. And on the west, we had the capitalist model, which was funded heavily by USA alongside Europe, other countries like UK and France, but majorly Europe. So the similarity between that and India is such that after 1990s, we had liberalized our economic policy and uh, India as a state was earlier a welfare state, and now it became a capitalist state. So the change which came in India post 1990s is a change which came after World War II in Germany. So a lot of policies which we see today, which are catering to welfare, can be associated with, or we can have we can see that kind of thing in East Germany as well, in the Soviet.
Okay,
And
so how much year Germany took to become developed? Like when you can say कि Germany got developed after this year of struggle after the World War II. How many years Germany took to get into a position where they can call themselves as a developed nation?
so soon after, because there was also War running, and the world was divided into East and West. So Germany was funded heavily from both sides, both from Soviet and USA. So it took very soon they built universities as well as other facilities in the Western area. They also had capitalistic ventures like McDonald's and uh, also German vehicles. They started to flourish in Germany, in the West Germany, a lot. So
So how
it.
can you say that Germany and India is quite at the same or many similarities there? Because since liberalization, we have already spent, I think, if you calculate 40, some 40 more, 40 years or more than 40 years, I think.
Mhm.
1991 से 2024 कितना हो गया? 42 साल हो गए ना एक तरह से? नहीं नहीं, 42 साल नहीं हुए। कितने हो गए? 32 साल हो गए।
So that, हाँ.
हाँ तो, हाँ सर, 32 साल हो गए। नहीं, 32 साल हुए, कितना हुआ है?
अरे सर 25 हुए ना, नहीं 20, 35.
हाँ, 32 साल हुआ। ठीक है, 1991 से 32 साल हुआ, ठीक है। तो 32 साल हो गए, तो वी आर स्टिल स्टिल नॉट और स्टिल फार फ्रॉम डेवलपिंग डेवलप्ड नेशन। तो
हम्म.
किस तरह की सिमिलरिटी तुम देखते हो या क्या देख रहे थे?
सर मैं
देखो, मिला जुला के बात ये है, लेट्स जस्ट स्टॉप द क्वेश्चन, बिकॉज जितना बात करेंगे उतना कंफ्यूज हो गए। यू
हम्म.
आर नॉट टेलिंग इन द राइट सिंक। जब तुमने बोला कि सिमिलरिटी है, तो
हम्म.
तुम ऐसा कुछ बोल सकते थे कि इंडिया एंड जर्मनी बोथ वेयर नॉट हैविंग एक्सपोजर टू लिटरेसी, या जो भी सिमिलरिटी तुमने आइडेंटिफाई किया। अब तुमने बताने लगे कि ईस्ट जर्मनी और वेस्ट जर्मनी में क्या डिफरेंस था, ईस्ट जर्मनी इससे फंडेड था, वेस्ट जर्मनी इससे फंडेड था। दैट वाज नॉट द आंसर ऑफ माय क्वेश्चन।
हम्म.
इंटरव्यू वगैरह में या WAT मतलब रिटन एडमिशन टेस्ट में हमेशा एक बात का ध्यान रखो, जो पूछा जाए वही बताएगा। इफ
हम्म.
यू हैव एनीथिंग इन योर माइंड टू टॉक इन द सेंस ऑफ सिमिलरिटी, देन टेल। और इसके अलावा तुम ये भी बोल सकते हो कि भूल गए, है ना? ये चलेगा। कंफ्यूज
ओके.
मत करो किसी को भी, ठीक है?
अच्छा अच्छा.
हाँ, तो have you also studied about the villages of Germany, like what kind of rural area they have?
No, sir, we didn't dive into that. We were majorly focused on the politics and other industries in Germany.
Okay. Okay, so after graduation, you did not go for any job which was based on your German language.
No, sir, I actually went for a job. I got hired in Bangalore Science Gallery uh, for a German consultancy. Not consultancy, but due to my German profile. So we had exhibitions and we were there as a role of mediator. My job was to interact with the visitors who are coming from Germany majorly, but also other visitors and showcase them the exhibitions that were being exhibited by different portions of the gallery.
Okay. So what was your experience in interacting with people who are from Germany? Like, what differences do you see uh, between their communication or whatever their understanding and Indian
Mhm.
mindset?
So, well, most of the exhibitions weren't just Indian; they were also international. And when I was communicating with people from Germany, I found that they were very curious to know the alternate narratives that exists. So, particularly, there was this one exhibition where an artist Ranjit, he drew up a huge painting in which he had shown different instances of during the bubonic plague. So that narrative he showed and it was in a story form. And the narrative was on one side he showed whatever the Britishers were doing in India at that time and how they were controlling plague in India. In another place he was also showing what the people were doing. So I found that the people who were coming to see these exhibitions were really interested in it. They were really interested to see how uh, people were during that time. They had created gods to fight the plague, and they had vested some powers in them, and they would, make offerings. So through pictures only, Ranjit had drawn and showed how people would hold also prayers in front of those
Okay,
ideas.
okay, leave it. So I used when did you got interested for doing MBA or pursuing MBA?
So I actually got means there was a layoff in the Bangalore Science Gallery due to COVID, and it also shut during the went online after the restrictions happened, the lockdowns happened. So when I did my workshops in Sambhavna, I worked with in rural area and I worked in with people. So I saw that there was means I had started to understand what the problems and challenges are, and I was looking for how I can add value to it, both for myself as well as the community. So uh, I did a fellowship under YP Foundation, and I was working with marginalized people in NCR region, and my job was to teach them. Uh, so after that I was looking for I was looking for courses, and I through a teacher I came to know about this course in IRMA, and that's when I got interested in IRMA because I felt that I had a basic understanding about the society in rural India, but I didn't have the skill sets to be able to provide so through MBA, I feel that I'll be able to develop those skill sets and bridge that gap in me.
Tell me about some of the skill set that like you want to develop there.
So the skill set I want to develop is how to uh, develop a product and market it in rural India so that the community as well as a company which I work for thrives together. Uh, I would want to also focus on the uh, means because we are moving towards a technological age and AI is also entering, and rural India has adopted mobile phones very quickly. So I want to also understand how it is going to become a tool in economic development of rural India further. So I would like to focus on that through MBA.
Okay. So do you know what government of India is doing for development of rural area?
I have some idea, sir.
Tell me some policies or some of the steps, initiatives that government of India has taken.
So there is this new policy. It's been there since some time. It's called one district, one product. So in this policy, what the government is trying to do is they are trying to allocate, uh, and it's like GI tag.
Okay, आयुष मैं तुम्हें पहले यहाँ मना कर दूं. One district, one product was not meant to serve just rural area. It was like वो भी यूपी गवर्नमेंट का अपना प्रोजेक्ट है. It was
नहीं,
for
उत्तराखंड
finding.
उत्तराखंड भी कर रहा है.
चलो ठीक है, वो रेप्लिकेट कर सकते हैं. गुड पॉलिसी कैन बी रेप्लिकेटेड बाय ऑल अदर गवर्नमेंट्स आल्सो. आइडियली ये सारे गवर्नमेंट को करना चाहिए. तो ये इसका फोकस रूरल एरिया या रूरल प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने का नहीं है, वो इकोनॉमी मोबिलाइज करने का है. एंड
हम्म,
फाइंडिंग न्यू सप्लाई चेन, फाइंडिंग न्यू प्रोडक्ट्स, फाइंडिंग न्यू थिंग्स टू सेल all over world from which can easily come through the home district. मतलब जहाँ पे भी वो प्रोडक्शन हो रहा है या बनाया जा रहा है, तो वो
हम्म,
रूरल एरिया से रिलेटेड नहीं है.
हम्म.
ठीक है, उसको रूरल एरिया पे बेस्ड पॉलिसी नहीं बोला जा सकता, ऑल्दो उसका इम्पैक्ट, उसका इफेक्ट रूरल एरिया पे पड़ेगा. जहाँ अगर प्रोडक्ट गांव से निकल के आ रहा है तो ऑफकोर्स गांव की इनकम बढ़ेगी. बट दीज पॉलिसीज आर नॉट मेंट, और ऐसा उसको उस कैटेगरी में डालने से बेटर है कि टॉक अबाउट एनी पॉलिसी विच इज एक्चुअली being started for development of rural area.
हम्म.
अरे लास्ट क्लास में मैंने बताया तो था, नीचे लिस्ट दिया था कि ये 7-8 पॉलिसीज हैं जो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट चलाती है रूरल एरिया डेवलपमेंट के लिए. तुम लोग ध्यान से क्लास नहीं लेते हो, तो दिक्कत ये भी तो है. वो देखना, वो उसमें मैंने जो लास्ट क्लास है ना, जो पॉलिसीज फॉर रूरल एरिया, उसमें लिस्ट किया हुआ है. उसको तुम वीडियो देख के भी वो कर सकते थे, नोट डाउन कर सकते थे कि ये पॉलिसी है, उसको डिटेल में बता सकते. क्योंकि 4-5 बहुत जो प्रोमिनेंट पॉलिसी है, जैसे उज्ज्वला है या उजाला है, या फिर एक तो सबसे बड़ी पॉलिसी रही है वो
मनरेगा.
अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी के टाइम का जो ये था ना, ग्राम सड़क योजना. हाँ,
ग्राम
वो
सड़क.
बहुत सक्सेसफुल रहा है मोबिलिटी और कम कनेक्टिविटी को बढ़ाने के लिए. तो इस तरह कई सारी पॉलिसीज हैं. तो उसको तुम पढ़ो और
सर
उसके बाद।
मनरेगा इंक्लूड कर सकते हैं हम?
मनरेगा तो है ही है, मनरेगा तो ऑफ कोर्स वो तो गांव के लिए ही बना है।
लेकिन वो पहले से थी ना, चला
नहीं,
सकता है।
उससे क्या फर्क पड़ता है, मैंने कहा बोला कि तुम नई वाली बताओ।
ओके।
मनरेगा तुम बता सकते हो, मनरेगा तो है ही, मतलब मनरेगा तो वन ऑफ द पॉलिसी है ही। बट मतलब वो डेवलपमेंट से ज्यादा वेलफेयर है कि एक सर्टेन टाइम तक एम्प्लॉयमेंट दे दिया, है ना।
हम्म।
तो जो रूरल प्रॉब्लम है वो केवल अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट की नहीं है, रूरल प्रॉब्लम है इकोनॉमिक मोबिलिटी की, या फिर एजुकेशन की, या अवेयरनेस की, या पार्टिसिपेशन इन डेमोक्रेसी की। ठीक है। एंड रूरल प्रॉब्लम है डिसगाइज्ड ये अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट की, इस तरह की एम्प्लॉयमेंट की, इस तरह के प्रॉब्लम्स है, उसको समझो। मतलब लार्जर पॉपुलेशन या अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट इज नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम। प्रॉब्लम ये है कि हम एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेट नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, इकोनॉमी मोबिलाइज नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, या जो रिसोर्सेज हैं हम उसको प्रॉपरली यूटिलाइज नहीं कर पा रहे हैं। ठीक है।
हम्म।
हम्म। सो now tell me some challenges which we face in developing the rural areas. Let's say government wants to uplift the rural market and rural areas, and uplift the lifestyle of rural areas. What are the challenges that government will face? Your government faces
सर,
basically.
like there is of course the challenge of awareness a lot of times, that because most of the population is not so literate, so it doesn't reach to the end person, the last person who's actually requiring the policy. Then because rural India also has huge caste system and caste dynamics, so a lot of times the people who are holding power, they are the people whom the policies get limited to. So the people whom the policies are targeted to, so it doesn't reach that person.
Uh,
So that's all I'm able to think right now.
yeah. So, what do you expect from IRMA?
So from IRMA, I expect that I'll be able to uh, really increase my knowledge about rural India, as well as develop the skill sets to be be able to work in institutions which are catering to the needs and service providing services in rural India. It will also give me a more broader perspective into how things work, how supply chain works, how the management works, and how the end product is also delivered.
चलो अभी बहुत तुम्हें पढ़ना समझना पड़ेगा, स्टिल नॉट मतलब वैसा वो कुछ सेटिस्फेक्शन बार को टच नहीं किया है। तुम्हें कॉलेज के बारे में भी समझना है, गांव के बारे में भी समझना है। अरे कुछ नहीं तो विकिपीडिया पेज तो पढ़ो, और पॉलिसीज के बारे में पढ़ो, जो सारी पॉलिसीज मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ रूरल डेवलपमेंट की वेबसाइट मैंने बोला था उसको देखने के लिए, देखे तुम? हम्म।
सर वीडियो ही देख रहा था पिछले वाली आपकी।
वीडियो वो तो इंटरव्यू वीडियो लास्ट में काम आता है, पहले तो जो एक एक पिछला इंटरव्यू लेने के बाद जब मैंने तुम्हें सजेस्ट किया कि जाकर वेबसाइट देखो, पॉलिसीज देखो, तो वो पहले करना है ना। डिफरेंसेस देखो, रूरल अर्बन एरिया में किस तरह से डिफाइन किया जाता है, ये सब देखो पहले। जो लिस्ट बन चुका है कि ये हमें सीखना समझना है तो उसको कंप्लीट करो पहले। ठीक है।